So long, and thanks for all the fishing quotas. Boris Johnson is accused of betraying Britain's fishermen after compromise with EU in row over trawling. Fishing chiefs yesterday accused Boris Johnson of betraying their industry in the interests of preserving free trade with the EU. Under the post-Brexit agreement struck on Christmas Eve, the EU will give up only 25% of the value of fish caught in UK waters, with a 5.5-year transition period. The UK had initially insisted on reclaiming 80% over 3 years. Despite admitting he had given ground, the Prime Minister claimed the agreement was a success. Sporting a tie with a fish motif, he told reporters, "The EU began with I think wanting a transition period of 14 years, we wanted 3 years, we've ended up at 5 years. That was a reasonable transition period and I can assure great fish fanatics in this country that we will as a result of this deal be able to catch and eat quite prodigious quantities of extra fish. For the first time since 1973 we will be an independent coastal state with full control of our waters, with the UK's share of fish in our waters rising substantially from roughly half today to closer to 2/3 in 5.5 years' time, after which there is no theoretical limits beyond those placed by science or conservation on the quantity of our own fish that we can fish in our waters. But fishermen have said there will be frustration and anger at the outcome of the negotiations." Barry Dess, chief executive of the National Federation of Fishermen's Organisations, said, "In the end it was clear that Boris Johnson wanted an overall trade deal and was willing to sacrifice fishing. The broad feeling is that the UK has made significant concessions on fish in order to secure a trade deal. The industry will be extremely disappointed. We have secured increases in quota from the EU but they don't come anywhere close to what our entitlement is in international law. There will be frustration and anger across the industry." Jim Portis, chief executive of the South West Fish Producers Organisation, described the announcement as fairly sketchy and short on detail. "They are trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear," he said. "I also suspect the EU will end up being happier than the UK will." Elspeth MacDonald, chief executive of the Scottish Fishermen's Federation, said that the deal did not appear to deliver on the industry's aspirations. She said, "The principles that the government said it supported, control over access, quota shares based on zonal attachment, annual negotiations, do not appear to be central to the agreement. After all the promises given to the industry, that is hugely disappointing." French fishing bosses, however, have welcomed the deal. They were briefed on the agreement yesterday by Europe Minister Clement Beaune and Maritime Minister Annick Girardin.